Hey everyone, I've been using the iPhone 16 Pro Max as my main device for over a week now, and in this video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on this device and my experience so far. This video is brought to you by ESR and their full lineup of iPhone cases, screen protectors, and accessories. Learn more at the link in the video description. Okay, so first off, we all kind of know at this point this device is essentially an S-year upgrade, even though Apple hasn't used that terminology in many years now. The 16 Pro Max looks almost identical to the 15 Pro Max, and that's not really a bad thing. It's a gorgeous phone featuring titanium sides and a frosted glass back. I of course got the natural titanium model, and I also do have the Desert Titanium 16 Pro as well, but that color really isn't my thing. One of the biggest upgrades though, if you're coming from a stainless steel iPhone, is the titanium sides, because it's a game changer. It's such a lighter device versus those older stainless steel Pro iPhones. You're gonna love it. Now, design-wise versus last year, there are a few other small things that are kinda subtle. The titanium sides are now smoother and slightly grippier than last year's brushed look, which I appreciate. I think this looks a lot more refined. Another noteworthy addition is the new camera control button, which goes alongside the action button. The action button is very customizable with a bunch of different options and settings, and the ability to actually use it as a shortcut button as well. While the camera control button lets you quickly access the camera with just a simple press, and yes, it is a real button. And once you have it open, you can press it again very gently to access settings, and double press gently and swipe through settings like exposure, depth, focus, zoom, and the different cameras. It's a cool feature and great to see Apple adding even more buttons to the iPhone, but during daily usage, it's not really the best experience. I do find it can be overly sensitive at times and not amazing for hitting really precise settings like the exact zoom you want or the camera you want or different exposure things. Apple is also adding a half press to focus and exposure lock feature to the camera control button, but no idea when that's going to be coming out. But right now, it's a really cool new feature, but not really a big feature for me. It's something I've had to actually remind myself to use and test out because it's just not that notable for me. Okay, the display on this device is fantastic. Somehow the bezels are even thinner all around this phone than the 15 Pro Max, which is pretty crazy. And it's also very bright. It goes up to 2000 nits of brightness and drops as low as 1 nit of brightness, which is perfect for night use or you don't want to wake your partner up. This is a great feature. It's also, of course, 120 Hz, so it's super smooth. It's also bright, vibrant, beautifully accurate, and this is an incredible phone display. And once again, Dynamic Island is here, unchanged from the previous year. It's great for things like tracking food deliveries or your Uber, great for controlling music and media, and if you're coming from a device with a notch, the design change is definitely a lot better. Okay, moving on to the most exciting part about this device for me, the cameras. I use my iPhone cameras a lot during daily usage for day-to-day things and also for professional work, so for me personally, the cameras are a really important part of the experience. You've got a 48 megapixel main camera, a 48 megapixel upgraded ultra-wide camera, and a 12 megapixel 5x telephoto zoom camera. And there's also the 2x telephoto zoom, which is a digital lens, and I love this feature as well. In good lighting and during the day, photos are of course sharp, clear, and beautifully detailed. The ultra-wide photos look especially crisp this year, and I'm a really big fan of the 5x zoom. Even the 2x digital zoom, which crops on the 48 megapixel sensor, looks just as good as an optical zoom camera in my opinion. And for low light photography or at night, the phone does a great job without relying on night mode, which personally I've turned off completely on my devices. No need to even bother with that anymore. Night shots look great. There's also this brand new styles feature for customizing how your photos look during shooting or in post. And the user interface for this is actually really cool and eliminates a lot of complexities of editing photos, but it's something I'm really not going to touch very much. It's a really nice option for people who want to customize their photos with a more dramatic and enhanced look, but personally, I just like the natural look of photos. I think the iPhone does a great job straight at a camera, but this is a great way to customize your shots without like really extreme filters. Okay, now onto video performance. This iPhone's cameras shoot up to 4K at 24, 30, 60, and now even 120 frames per second with the primary lens and 2x zoom. And the front camera also shoots 4K video up to 60 frames per second, and you're seeing how that looks and sounds right now. But back to the rear cameras, 4K 120 frames per second, which is brand new this year and exclusive to just the Pro iPhones, is honestly amazing. I thought it was going to be kind of a gimmick, but it is wonderful for a lot of creative projects. It has a cinematic super slow motion effect without sacrificing sharpness or detail. It's something I've used a lot already and will continue to use in future projects. And the rest of videos shot on this phone in 4K 30 look absolutely stunning. They're natural with super smooth stabilization that also does look natural. There's beautiful colors, contrast, and dynamic range, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love how videos look coming out of this phone. My recent 16 Pro Max day in the life video was shot entirely on this phone, and it really does speak volumes about how good the video capabilities are on this device. If you're a creator, this phone's gonna be amazing for making YouTube videos or TikToks. It's fantastic. And there's also the brand new audio mix feature, which lets you actually customize the focus of audio recording in your videos. And in theory, it works pretty well. I'm standing right in front of my super noisy air conditioning unit right now, which you can probably hear in the background. I'm going to turn on the in-frame option right now so you can hear exactly how it sounds. Okay, back to normal. You can hear kind of how the difference between those sounds. I'm going to switch it to the studio mode now so you can hear what that sounds like as well. And it's a lot more isolated, as you can probably hear. And then I'm going to switch it back to the standard mode so you can hear what that sounds like in comparison. And then finally the cinematic mode, which is on right now. You can hear the difference, and back to the regular mode. So overall, it definitely does make a difference, but you gotta use it kind of sparingly because too much, it sounds incredibly digital and weird. You gotta use it pretty sparingly and creatively. So that's the camera situation on this device, and in almost all conditions, shots are excellent. This camera consistently delivers banger shots, and for me, it's the most consistent smartphone camera for photos and videos out right now. Okay, now before we talk about daily usage with this phone, let's talk about today's sponsor, ESR. ESR has an incredible lineup of cases, screen protectors, and accessories to enhance your iPhone 16. There's the classic hybrid, cloud, and cyber tough cases, and the Armorite screen protector. The classic hybrid and cloud can withstand drops up to 11 feet, while the cyber tough can withstand drops up to 23 feet. And these cases have ESR's air guard corners and raised screen and camera protection for 360 protection all around your device. The classic hybrid is ultra thin while still being protective. The cloud case has a super soft texture while also being quite protective, and the Cyber Tough case is extremely tough and rugged. Each of these cases also has ESR's stash stand that flips out from the camera module so you can prop up your phone for watching videos or playing games, and it simply just folds away. It's a great feature. And these cases have super strong magnets for attaching MagSafe accessories and chargers, and it's honestly very impressive, the strongest magnets I've tested on an iPhone case. And for one more layer of protection, the Armorite screen protector protects your phone's front glass. With a simple two-step installation process that removes dust during application, it's a perfect install every single time. And the screen protector offers 9H strong glass with a triple strengthening process and can withstand 110 pounds of edge pressure. These accessories help keep your expensive iPhone safe during daily usage and also look great while doing it. If you want to learn more, hit the link in the description down below, and thanks to ESR for sponsoring this video. And now, back to the review. Okay, now during daily use, this phone is crazy fast, of course. It's a flagship iPhone, has the latest processor. This phone is insanely quick. Whether you're gaming, swiping through apps, or multitasking, it handles everything no problem, and also keeps apps open for quite a while in multitasking as well, so you can close them and go right back to them later. They're gonna keep all your stuff open. The performance is so good, it's not even really notable to talk about at all, because everything you want to do on this phone is basically instant. Now, iOS 18 does run fairly smooth so far for my testing and does have some pretty cool features built in, but things like Apple Intelligence are not here at all. And we're not expected to get the full suite of features till later this fall, well into the winter, and even into the spring. And hopefully we get at least some of these features soon, because Apple's really been pushing Apple Intelligence in all of its marketing, and so far, we got nothing. You can also, of course, change the color of icons now and place icons anywhere, finally, which is great. I also love the new control center and all of its customization. I've added a bunch of different pages to keep things organized, and I love this. But I'm really just not a fan of the new Photos app. It feels cluttered, glitchy, there's some really weird design choices and user interface elements, and it really is a step back from the clean, simple, and really enjoyable design Apple had before for the Photos app. It's kind of a mess. Now you can actually customize the order of things and remove different sections in the Photos app, which I've definitely done, but there's a lot here that makes no sense and some really odd choices throughout the app. And actually using this phone for a full day, the battery life is quite solid. I start most days at around 8 AM and can get to around 10:30 at night or 11 o'clock without needing to plug the phone in during the day for a quick charge, which is pretty good. There's nothing to worry about here with the battery life. The phone also supports faster Qi 2 25-watt wireless charging with a compatible charger and 30-watt cube, and fast wired charging, which gives you a 50% charge in about 30 minutes with a fast charging cube. Pretty good. Okay, to conclude, there really isn't much else to say about the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This phone is incredibly good, just like last year's phone and the phone before it. There's no new crazy redesign to talk about, the camera features are pretty great, the camera control button is okay. Performance, like every flagship iPhone, next level, no problems there at all, and things like Apple Intelligence are nowhere to be found right now. And I feel like that kind of sounds negative, and many reviews have also been a little bit negative about this phone too, but when you look at the grand scheme of this device, it is an incredible phone. Like, this phone is insanely good. The only problem is that there really isn't much different from last year at this point. And what this phone does is kind of fills in a few of the small gaps and adds a few cool new features as well, but nothing groundbreakingly different. But that being said, how many people are buying a brand new iPhone every single year? Unless you're on the upgrade program or you're a big Apple fan, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for most people. So a lot of people coming to this phone are going to be from an older iPhone model, like a, I don't know, iPhone 12 Pro, or maybe even older. Even a 13 Pro would be a huge upgrade going to this device. If you can wait though, there's always next year. The 17 series is expected to have a bigger redesign and some new features, but right now if you need a new phone, 16 Pro Max, this is a great device. And that's pretty much it. I want to hear your thoughts on the 16 Pro Max in the comments down below. Also, like the video if you liked it, subscribe, and thank you for watching.
So you got